Hello, guys. I know I haven't uploaded anything in a long time, so I'm finally back. And before I get into anything else, I just want to say I have no script. This is all being improvised in my head. So if I like stutter or have like one of those teen voice cracks, I do apologize for that, and I hope it doesn't affect the overall view. Except I don't really think it does. But anyway, I just something a little reminder, and also there will be spoilers up ahead. So be forewarned if you don't want to be spoiled, and don't watch this. If you want to go see the movie yourself, don't watch this. But if you already seen the movie or don't care for spoilers, stay right here for the ride. So, goddamn, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's finally out after so long. How long is this? I think it's since 2014 or 2013 since this movie was first announced, but it's finally here. And this development has been a ride. I mean, really. like like ever since 2014 all the way up to the beginning of 2018, we knew absolutely little about this movie, except for I know Sony had the rights to the movie when it was first announced, and then Paramount later had the rights in 2016 or 2017. But that was it. Like, we didn't know about the cast, we didn't know what the movie was going to be about, but they did show us something in 2018 that scared the absolute shit out of us, which was a horribly designed Sonic. Everybody knows about this. Everybody's beaten that horse to death, and they've beaten it so much that Paramount actually listened to that feedback and delayed the film to Valentine's Day. Just take your date out to Sonic the Hedgehog. uh, get a little bit of that romance in there. This movie is not about romance at all. Just something a little thing I wanted to check in. So yeah, the movie's finally been released, and well, I gotta say, I really like this film. I really did. I know everybody likes about that movie. I know everybody likes that movie, and everybody has their own reasoning. This is my own reasoning. I'm giving my own opinion on this. I don't really base my opinions on other people's perspectives of a thing, so this is strictly my own personal opinion. Yeah, I really like this movie. It's really good. Is it a cinematic masterpiece? Hell no. It's not a cinematic masterpiece. But is it a dumpster fire like other live action adaptations? No, it's not at all. It is a just a fun film that it knows what it is, and it tries to be like that. It's a fun film. Um, so the story of this movie is that the movie starts out with a Deadpool style kind of storytelling where we see Sonic getting chased by Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, and he tells us how he got into this mess, and he rewinds all the way back, and then the very next scene is Baby Sonic, and he's just running through a beautifully crafted Green Hill Zone. That is, that looks so beautiful. So he's just running around, and he goes by his house, which an owl appears. And it's not from the OVA. It is a completely separate character. It is Longclaw. And okay, I just want to say this one thing. This is where the movie shines. It's this beginning part, and then afterwards, um, after like Longclaw says, "Oh, you shouldn't be out in the public," and Baby Sonic got a little flower for her, and it just thought like, "Oh, that's so cute." And then literally right after is tribe. It's the Echidna tribe from Sonic Adventure trying to chase Baby Sonic and Longclaw down because they want his power for some reason, which is never explained. So, yeah, and Longclaw gets shot by an arrow from one of the echidnas, but never shows that she's in severe pain. So, and literally right after, Longclaw gives Sonic a bag of rings, and those rings in this movie are like the teleporter rings from the classic games where they like teleport you to like the special stage and all that. But this in the movie, they teleport you to like different dimensions, which is kind of cool. And so Longclaw gives Baby Sonic a handful of them, and he's teleported to Earth. Yeah, and Longclaw then gets killed by the Echidna tribe, which we don't. It's an off-screen death, so we don't really know that if Longclaw is still alive. But I just want to say that this beginning part had so much promise, but it was so rushed. Like we literally see the Echidna tribe for like 1 minute, and then boom, Sonic's on Earth, and he stays on Earth for 10 years. Which the next scene we see Tom Wachowski, played by James Marsden, which I'm gonna be honest, he was pretty forgettable. um, I just didn't care a lot about him. And thank God it's not like the Smurfs or any other live action adaptation where it's main focusly on the human characters. Sonic, he's here from beginning to the end in this, which I really like. That is a token of appreciation. But then, yeah, soon Sonic just hangs out in Tom's town, and it just kind of like creeps on him. I don't really know how to explain it. He's just watching them from a distance while they watch movies and stuff, like Sonic. He likes, and he calls him Donut Lord, which is pretty funny. And then he calls James Mars, Tom Wachowski's wife, Pretzel Lady. And I don't know, like, and the entire time he's on Earth, he just feels lonely. Like we're shown that he has like a good life on Earth. Like he's like playing ping pong with himself. He's reading like a bunch of comic books. He's jamming out with a balloon guitar for some reason. And he just feels lonely on this Earth. And you kind of like feel for him because, as a little kid, the main thing was to get friends. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like the main thing that you feel when you're little is like having friends. And since Sonic is alone on his Earth and he can't be seen by anybody, or else he has to go to this mushroom planet, he's just lonely and he wants some friends. And you kind of feel for him because you were once like that when you were little. Yeah, so after he's playing baseball with himself, which is a cool visual gag, which was okay, I don't want to say cool, but it was pretty good. Um, he then realizes he's all alone, he can't get a high five, and then he just starts running around the baseball field super fast, and apparently so fast that the power, like the entire country's power, just blacks out. Like, and he soon gets discovered, and they have to hire Dr. Robotnik as Jim Carrey, played by Jim Carrey. And I'm going to be honest, I really liked Jim Carrey in this movie. I really did. He was a good actor in this movie. I loved Jim Carrey ever since I first watched one of his movies, which I don't know which one it was. I think it was either like Dumb and Dumber or Ace Ventura, but yeah, the dude, he's good in this movie. He brings out that nice 90s physical acting that he's been known for years, and it really works. Like, I know he acts more like Jim Carrey than Dr. Robotnik himself, but he's still a plus. So, yeah, so the government hires him to track down Sonic, and it's just a cat and mouse game. And Tom suddenly discovers Sonic in his garage. He shoots him with a tranquilizer, and one of his rings, he thinks of San Francisco, and one of the rings drops, and the portal leads to San Francisco. And Sonic accidentally drops his bag of rings into that portal. So he has to go to San Francisco, all that. And I just want to say that this part is just a road trip movie, which can kind of drag a bit, but it's okay. I don't necessarily hate the road trip aspect of this movie. It's been advertised to death. The road trip part has been advertised to death. And I don't really know why. Like that part, like when they're all in the car, like that entire scene, and they're in the car and they're just going to places like that. That kind of drags a bit because you've seen that done to death a million times. So it's kind of like it's bad, kind of. And all right, I know I've been talking more of the story than my thoughts and opinions on the movie itself. So I'm just gonna dive right in that. My positives are that Sonic looks really good after the redesign. I know I've said that a million times, but damn, does he look really, really good. Um, and he just looks more faithful to like his regular design. Like this looks like regular modern Sonic. The only complaint I have with it is that he still has the separated eye, which is not really a big deal because there's like a little fade in the middle to give us the illusion that he has one eye. But I honestly, it's very minor. Everything else looks really, really good. Um, so, and my other positive, Jim Carrey, I've already explained. Um, and the pacing, it's kind of good. I've already talked about the middle part where it's a road trip movie. It kind of drags the movie a bit, and I think that's it. And the cinematography just looks good. Like they did a good job filming this. And the lightning effects and all of that, all of the effects in this movie look A plus, A plus, especially Green Hill Zone. The when in the very beginning of the movie, wow. And I don't know what else. The story, it's kind of good, but not that good. Like we've seen that story a million times. Um, and I think those are the positives. Or wait, Sonic's characterization in this, he acts like his normal, like sometimes he acts like his normal Sonic self, but other times he just acts like he's a little kid in this world who never got to do anything. And I know that's what Ben Schwartz was going for with this character, the voice of Sonic, but it works and it doesn't. um, um, so I don't know what else to say. Jim Carrey I already said. Uh, wow. And some of the acting is very good. Like some of the acting is pretty good. Um, Especially compared to like other live action adaptations of a character where the actors just act like they're extremely stupid and not really acting at all, even though they're really good actors. I don't want to say really good, but like semi good. So yeah, it's it's whatever. I don't mind the actors at all in this movie, especially Jim Carrey. Um, James Marsden's Tom, he was kind of forgettable. Not gonna lie. Um, Maybe because I didn't really care about his character. I don't even remember like half of his lines, even though I've seen the movie twice. Uh, Tika Sumpter as his wife only plays in for like 5 minutes, but still forgettable. Again, I didn't really care about her character, and I, there are a lot of characters I don't really care about, like this side character who's like this cop who works with Tom is apparently Tom's best friend. Um, I think the only human character that's not Jim Carrey was, I don't know, Crazy Carl. I almost forgot his name. Crazy Carl. He was pretty funny. He drew as like an illustration of Sonic. He drew like the Sonic meme. I thought that was really funny. Um, Sorry, water. So yeah, those are all my positives. Um, Now let's go on to the negatives. Once again, the pacing can be pretty slow, especially when it's a road trip movie, which is basically like the middle half of this movie, and once again, it drags pretty much. And I don't, yeah, I already talked about the human characters. The I think Eggman's robots are they look kind of bland. The only robot that I like in this movie is that tank that turns into like this semi tank, I want to say, and then it just turns into a scooter, and then like a little like helicopter thing where it lasers his car. Like, damn, that robot's resistant. It just can't stay down. Uh, uh, yeah. So the rest of the robots. They're pretty bland. The references in this movie are abundant, but you're not going to see them all in your first time watching this. Um, so there are like a bunch of references. There are stage references like um, Hilltop Zone, Green Hills, Montana is the main setting. Um, Besides San Francisco, um, and what else? Oh, and he eats. It was a okay. There's this fart joke, and it takes place in a hotel, and I didn't really find it funny. And then after he said he ate a chili dog that caused the fart, then I started to laugh. um, um, Damn. Uh, there are like a bunch of references. I already talked about the Sonic meme, which was pretty funny, and that's it. Like, I know there's like a bunch of. Oh yeah, he calls Robotnik Eggman as an insult, like an adventure. He calls like a bunch of people by like food and then something else like Tom Wachowski, Donut Lord, Tika Sumpter, Pretzel Lady, like that, and it kind of makes sense why he would call him Eggman. So, and he talks about how he says his robots are like giant eggs, and that's why he calls him Eggman. I don't know what else to talk about this movie, to be honest. I think I talked about almost everything. And the ending, it's not that special. Sonic defeats Eggman. In the end of the day, Sonic decides he doesn't want to go to the Mushroom Planet. He stays on Earth, which is kind of stupid, but okay. And then, okay, after credits, okay. I'm going to talk about the after credits in this. So be forewarned. I'm talking about the after credits. There is an after credits in this movie. Okay, three, two, one. Let's go. That was your chance to click off this video. So, hold on. All right, about the after credits. Before that scene. So yeah, as I was saying, the after credits scene, which before that scene, those credits look beautiful, beautifully pixelated to tell us the story. And then after that scene where all the cast comes in, after the scene where they show the cast, after credit scene shows us Green Hills, Montana, and after that is like a swirl of rings and like this little tornado thing, and then a teleporter ring appears, and then out of that teleporter is Tails. Tails is in the Sonic movie, and he has this little radar thing, and he's looking for Sonic, and he says he hopes he's not too late, which I don't really know how is that. I don't know. They're setting up for a sequel. I don't really mind. Maybe Longclaw's still alive, and maybe Knuckles is in the sequel, and he's trying to like kill Sonic, but then eventually becomes good. That just sounds more interesting than what we got, to be honest. The sequel sets up to be more interesting than the actual movie itself, which the movie itself I like a lot, but the sequel just sounds so much better. It really does. But overall, it's a good movie. I recommend it. It's not trying to be a cinematic masterpiece like almost everything else that turns out to be a disaster. It's just a fun film, and I'd recommend it for if you're a Sonic fan or grew up playing Sonic on the Genesis. And I just think, yeah, you'll like this movie if you're a Sonic fan or just want to like have a little fun family film. So yep, that's it. 7 out of 10. Yep, that's my rating. 7 out of 10. So have a good day. See you all later. Bye bye.